Shalom, shalom. This video is about the Gospel of John chapter 21 verses 15 to 19. It's about Kefa Simon Peter's first statement that he loved Yeshua when Yeshua asked him if he did. So I'll read the text for you. When they had finished breakfast, remember Yeshua cooked breakfast, fish and bread for them on a charcoal fire on the beach of the Sea of Galilee. So when they had finished breakfast, Yeshua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, Simon ben Yochanan, do you love me more than these? Yes, Lord, yes, Adonai, he said to him, you know that I love you. Yeshua said to him, feed my lambs. Yeshua then said to him a second time again, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Yes, Lord, he said, you know that I love you. Yeshua said to him, take care of my sheep. Yeshua said to him a third time, Simon, son of John, do you love me? And Peter was grieved because he said to him for a third time, do you love me? And he said to him, Lord, Adonai, you know everything. You know that I love you. Yeshua said to him, feed my sheep. Amen, amen, I tell you, when you were younger, you used to dress yourself and walk wherever you wanted. But when you grow old, you will stretch out your hands and someone else will dress you and carry you where you do not want to go. Now this he said to indicate by what kind of death Peter was going to glorify God. And again here we see that concept. Yeshua spoke about his crucifixion before the fact as his glorification. God changes death into glory. Things that is humbling, that's hurtful, God turns into glory. Okay, so after this, Yeshua said to Kefa Simon Peter, follow me. Yeshua asked Kefa Simon Peter 3 times if he loved him, each time cancelling one of the 3 times that Kefa Simon Peter denied him. And you can read that in John chapter 18, verse 15 to 27. So let's consider each time on its own. But firstly, back in John 13, verse 38, at the Last Supper, Kefa Simon Peter said that he will lay his life down for Adonai Yeshua. And this is the reason why we read these doom and gloom verses about Kefa Simon Peter's future on the text that I read above. Because Kefa Simon Peter was kept to his promise, even though he did not know what he said at the time. We have to be very careful about the promises we make to God, especially when we want something from him. It's so easy to pray, say, dear God, if you do this for me, then I will do that for you. Like making a contract or trying to buy his favor. When he answers your prayer, he will hold you to that promise. At the Last Supper, Yeshua immediately warned Kefa Simon Peter that he will deny 3 times that he knew him. And within the next few hours after Simon Peter Kefa's bravado, before the rooster crowed, he did exactly that. I explained this before, so please forgive me the repeat. But a chicken in Hebrew is a tarnagol, which reminds me a lot of tarantal or guinea fowl. Rooster in Hebrew is a gever, which also means male. Male is gever. And it's rooted in gevura, which means strength and power. So earlier, Kefa Simon Peter was full of bravado, saying that he will lay down his life for Yeshua. But Yeshua said that he will chicken out. And he did. And when the rooster crowed, it was de facto asking Peter, or Kefa Simon Peter, where his gevura was, where his strength was, where his power was, where his bravado went, evaporated like mist before the sun. Kefa Simon Peter's first chickened out to a young female door guard at Joseph Caiaphas' palatial home, where Annas, Caiaphas' father-in-law, interrogated Yeshua. The maidservant at the door asked Kefa Simon Peter if he was not one of Yeshua's disciples, and he answered that he was not. So for this, Yeshua asked him the first time if he loved him more than the other disciples did. And Kefa Simon Peter answered positively that Yeshua knew that he loved him. In fact, did he not just dive into the Sea of Galilee to swim to shore to see Yeshua earlier, before breakfast that morning? He did so because he loved Yeshua, and he could not wait for the slow boat to slowly row the huge catch to shore. That's why he just dived in the water and swam ashore. Was this not an expression of love? Yeshua's response to feed his lambs reminded Kefa Simon Peter of that young maid servant guarding the door. She was the lamb who asked him if he followed Yeshua. She was the lamb in Yeshua's mind and in Simon Peter Kefa's mind. She had spiritual hunger, and Kefa Simon Peter did not feed her. Instead, he denied that he knew Yeshua. Here, just after Yeshua made breakfast for the 7 disciples to feed them, Yeshua's point was that disciples who gawk at hungry young lambs fail as apostles. Where would this poor girl ever hear of salvation through Yeshua if not from Kefa Simon Peter? So in his need to remain incognito that night, Kefa Simon Peter not only denied Yeshua, but he also denied this young lamb her salvation. He did not feed her spiritual hunger. But before we point our fingers at Kefa Simon Peter, we must consider the 3 fingers that point back at us. Have you not failed in the same manner as well? I know that I did, more than once. We too have a responsibility to feed Yeshua's lambs, the young people in our lives. And with that, I hope that I gave you spiritual food to ponder. And I bid you shalom, shalom. And because it's Friday, it's also Shabbat shalom.